Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is at FeelThePaynePW, or Nick Payne if you prefer, and you're watching MyTeam career mode on F1 2020. And if you didn't check out my last video or last episode, please do so now. It was at the Bahrain Grand Prix, and I actually did unbelievable in qualifying and got my car into a P10 finish. And in the race, I actually finished in P7, so the first points on the board with an unbelievable performance from myself, and that's actually got me into 6th in the Constructors' Championship now. So it's a great result for us, great result for the team, and quite a bit of money in the bank, to be honest. As I didn't realise on the last episode, you could actually change the colour of the sponsors on your livery. So we're going to do that now. We're going to change the Tri-Style and the Polo and all the others around the car to the lime green, or the very vibrant green that we've got in the car. And as you can see there, it's already made a huge difference. And look at that, look at the beautiful car now. And that's actually going to change the colour of the sponsors on the overalls as well, as we unlocked a new helmet design on the podium pass. So I did think that was a better helmet, and we're going to use that now. And as we go through onto the race weekend, as we go through to qualifying. Through on the final corner of this Hanoi circuit, up the main straight. This is DRS open. Obviously, because it's qualifying, there's no overtake mode as of yet, as we slow the car down and go through turn 1 into this very long right-hander of turn 2, which you have to slow down right up against the wall there as you approach turn 3 and turn 4 into the second out of 3 DRS zones, of course, as we go down one of the back straights here, which goes into turn 6, which is another very tight corner as you take the corner there into turn 7, and a long left-hander which turns into 7 and 8 as you go through into turn 9. And to be honest, I do think I'd do that quite well, as I go down closer to the inside than the outside and just cut the corner as much as possible as we go through turn 10 now, which is into another very tight left-hander, as it's all the way around. As you can see, I hit the wall there trying to get as wide as possible to get a better line out into turn 12 and 13 here, as we slow the car down. And now this is where the track gets very technical, as I've gone into a purple sector 2 there, as the track gets very technical here, and it's very ins and outs here. It's called the S section of the Hanoi circuit, as you slow the car down, and it can be very tricky if you don't get the line right. You do get a very slow entry and exit. As I slow the car down there, I don't want to go onto the accelerator too quickly there, as these two corners are very tight as we come down onto the main straight, and it's a P7 finish, P7, and that's where we're going to end up in qualifying. We're not going to go out for another lap as we go through onto qualifying 2 now in P7, and all we can achieve on our second lap is a P9 finish, unfortunately, and that's the worst of all the cars that had come out at that point. So as we go through now, as we can see in qualifying, as everyone's done their lap, we've got a P14 finish, unfortunately, so we will have to do another lap, of course, and try to better it, as we're down into P15 at the moment, as Gasly's gone quicker, as we lose a lot of time through that corner, and unfortunately we don't actually improve our lap time. So unfortunately for us, that's where we end up. We finish in P15, we get knocked out in Q2, and now we can see how we get on in the race.
Welcome along to the Vietnamese capital of Hanoi, a vibrant city built on the banks of the magnificent Red River. Today it's the backdrop for the latest round of the Formula One World Championship, with a circuit specifically designed to encourage overtaking opportunities. I think we could be in for a cracking race today. A lap of Hanoi circuit then, 3.4 miles around the Vietnamese capital. A number of the 23 corners take their inspiration from other great circuits, hopefully creating plenty of passing opportunities. Now, Anthony Davidson, I wonder, might we be in for some early pit stops today from the midfield teams, or trying to put some pressure on or disrupting things for the leaders up front?
If you're in the middle of the pack, you know, you got your own race to run, I don't think they're going to be thinking about causing trouble up front. However, closer to the head of the pack, don't be surprised to see some split strategies. If you're running second and third, for example, bringing one car in for an undercut while leaving the other one out there longer can put a lot of pressure on the leader and maybe force them into an error.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday puts him on pole, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Bottas, Lewis Hamilton and Albon, Sainz, Ricciardo, Perez and Lance Stroll, Ocon, Norris, Daniel Kvyat and Gasly, the rookie, Giovinazzi, Kimi Raikkonen and Kevin Magnussen, Grosjean, Aitken, Russell and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
And we're sat in P15 on the grid as we did in qualifying, and it's going to be a one-stop strategy for us. We're not going to go for the more aggressive two-stop strategy. We're going to see if we can just hold on with these hard tyres and not have to pit a second time. As we start the Grand Prix, Danny Kvyat just in front of us here as we go to 5 red lights, and we're underway, and it's a good start from us. And Danny Kvyat's actually had a horrendous start as he's very slow out the corner, and we're looking to get past Norris and Ocon here as we park the car behind him, and there's a bit of gap down the inside, and we take it and we get boxed in by the cars of Stroll and Ocon and Norris, and we're up into P10 now. And considering we started the race in P15, we're up into 5 places here. That's 5 places in just 2 corners of this Grand Prix, as we've got Sergio Perez up ahead. We've still got Lance Stroll just behind us. As we try diving down the inside of Sergio Perez, it's not going to work, and Ocon's actually got past Stroll, and he's got past us here on the inside as we go round the outside and keep in front of him for the time being now, as we're into P10 again, and we're down onto the very long back straight here as we're trying to catch Sergio Perez. Stay away from the Renault of Esteban Ocon behind us, as he's probably having to stay away from Lance Stroll behind him. As we can see just up ahead, there's Carlos Sainz has done a move down the inside of Ricciardo, and we're just going to follow Carlos Sainz's pattern through those corner as we go side by side with Sergio Perez, and we get the move done, and we're up into P9 now here on the first lap at turn 13 as we go through the S section, and that's a total of 6 places now. A total of 6 places that we've moved up the grid order. Sergio Perez actually makes the move down the inside, and we do thankfully block him off, and we stay in front here in P9 as we come through the last corners of the lap here. We're slow through that corner as it gets tighter and tighter, and we're slow through this one, but we get on the power as quickly as we can, and we stay in front, and we're up in P9 here on lap 2 as we're looking to catch up to Sainz in front and stay in front of Perez ahead, as Perez has a look into turn 1, and we stay in front as we're very tight down this right-hander into turn 2, which turns into turn 3 and 4 onto the back straight. No DRS as of yet, not until lap 3 of course, as we've still got Perez just behind us still trying to have a look as we brake late and cut the corner into turn 6. And we're still very close into Sainz. Can we make a move here? We bang into his side pod. There's contact as we go side by side with the McLaren, of course, in Carlos Sainz. Renault power versus Renault power here. Renault engine versus Renault engine. Can we make the move work? He's got the inside of turn 10. We've got the inside for turn 11. So we may have the move worked here as we brake at the similar sort of time and get the move done. Can we still side by side into turn 11, and we finally squeeze out Carlos Sainz here as we're up into P8 now. And that's another place done, as it's 7 places we've gone through now as we're only making the one stop. Remember that. So we've got to get through as quickly as possible, and we've got Daniel Ricciardo next. And we're here on lap 5, still Daniel Ricciardo in front, as there's yellow flags behind us. Is the car been hit? Is there damage? Is he out of this Grand Prix? As we go through the final corners, there's green flags, so maybe it's been moved on. As we go through the final 2 quarters, and Esteban Ocon is out of this Grand Prix, and a safety car has been deployed, and that's a very disappointing for us. If we would have known that there's going to be a safety car 3 corners earlier, we would have jumped into the pits and changed our strategy to the 2-stop and got a free pit stop, just as Jack Aitken has jumped into the pits here, as we've been offered well, we haven't been offered anything of a change of strategy. We've been offered to stay out now. If we would have known earlier, we would have come into the pits and we would have got a free stop, but unfortunately we're going to have to stay out now. There's no point in coming into the pits because we won't gain any time from it. We'll just lose time, if anything. As we're here on lap 7 now, safety car's in. We're trying to stay right behind Ricciardo as we go through the final quarters. As the safety car's in, we're about to start the race once again, as we've got Carlos Sainz directly behind us now. We did create a 2-second gap to him, remember, so that safety car has caused us a lot of hassle there. As we go through onto turn 2 now, can we stay in front of Carlos Sainz? Can we catch Daniel Ricciardo? Don't forget we're coming in on lap 10, remember. As we come through now on end of lap 8, going into lap 9, and everyone's coming to the pits now. Everyone, and that's actually made us go into lap 1 as we go deep with excitement. We go deep into the corner, and we're up into P1 now, leading this Grand Prix here in Hanoi. As we're coming into the pits on this lap now, and we're still in P1, as Norris, Gasly and Raikkonen all come into the pits, and hopefully we can just stay out and hopefully get a good gap here as we come into the pits here on lap 10. Hopefully we can stay as far ahead as possible. As we come into the pits now, and we cut the corner with this pit lane, and we're going to be slow round this straight, as everyone's going to be catching us. Jack Aitken's actually up into P5 now. Don't forget he pitted under the safety car, and Hamilton's just got ahead of him on the medium compound. Giovinazzi is now gone ahead, and Hamilton. Kvyat's behind us in the pits. How quick is our pit stop? And it's a 2-second pit stop. It's a great pit stop from our pit crew. They are very fast. They have been very fast in the first couple of races as well. As we're down in P18, as we're going to try getting up ahead of a few cars now. We nearly make contact with Latifi as he pulls out, and we're up into P10 now. And we're here on lap 11, and there's a yellow flag up ahead, and it's going to be, who is it? It's Sergio Perez, who's out of this Grand Prix now, and it's a virtual safety car. If we'd have waited one more lap, we'd have gotten into the pits and everyone would have been slow all around us, and we may have stayed in first place here. Catastrophic for us here on the strategy. And here on lap 12 now, we've got Albon behind us, got Ricciardo behind him, as we're looking to just stay in front of both the Red Bull and the Renault here, as the Red Bull of Alexander Albon goes to the inside of turn 10, which will turn into the outside of turn 11, as we're looking to slipstream behind Alexander Albon and brake behind him, as Daniel Ricciardo dives down the inside, and we've lost out on 2 places now as Ricciardo follows them through, and we're down into P11 now. And now we're on lap 13 now, another lap later, same back straight here, and we've got Bottas to contend with now, as he's got DRS wide open on us, and he's going to try the overtake into turn 11. We go to the outside, try rolling the car around him, and unfortunately we brake early and try the switchback, but there's no room for that, as Bottas has gone up another place now, and we're in P11 again. And lap 14, and there's the slow cars up ahead in Grosjean and Jack Aitken now, as we're looking to make a move here on Bottas, as we've got Bottas up ahead, Albon and Ricciardo, they're all going slowly due to the cars up ahead who haven't pitted since this pit window of the safety car. And we've got DRS on Bottas now, as we've got Lando Norris coming at a rate of knots down the inside, and we're going to try switching back on him and try going to the inside now of Lando Norris, and we actually make a move down the inside of Bottas, and we go slowly around the corner, box off Valtteri Bottas there, and actually Norris has made the move work, and we're down into P11 once again, as all the cars coming through into the pits now here on lap 16, as we're up into P5 now, as we've got Gasly and Kvyat, the two AlphaTauris just behind us, which is literally right behind me now, as we go slow through turn 3 into turn 4, which makes turn 5. And Gasly's right on our tail now. We don't want to cause contact, just like we did in the last Grand Prix, of course, as we go to the inside of Gasly, go into the slipstream just a little bit, and we make the move work, and we're still up in P5 now, with Gasly just behind us, as we sort of grind across the curb there, like a skateboarder, as we've got a bit of a gap to Gasly, as we go through turn 8 into turn 9 and turn 10 now, as Gasly's trying to close the gap with DRS, of course, which will go into turn 11 as we go. And can we keep in front of him here as we go into turn 11, as he goes to the inside, give him a bit of room, and thankfully we're still in front of the AlphaTauri car. And here on lap 17 now, and Gasly's still on our tail, still trying to push ahead, still trying to overtake us, of course, with DRS. We've only got Rich Mix and not a lot of ERS to play with here. As he goes to the inside, we're going to go to the outside, just try and roll the car around him, and we've done so. We're braking, or broke later, and we've got round the car ahead, and Gasly is going to have to concede the position as it turns into the inside lane, of course, as we go deep into turn 13, which is going to allow Gasly to get back in front, and we go side by side, and as two become one, we lose out and have to concede the position to Gasly, as it's too tight round this S section, and Gasly's now up into P5 and we're in P6 as he comes into the pits now, so we're going to get P5 back eventually as we go around these final corners. As we go here on lap 18, and we've got Vettel and Kvyat behind, and Vettel's used Kvyat slipstream there to overtake not just one but two cars down that back straight, and Vettel is up a place and we're down a place into P6 now. And here on lap 19 we've got Valtteri Bottas directly behind us, and he's in a Mercedes, so he's going to be quicker than us anyway. On the medium compound, he goes to the inside of turn 6, we go to the outside, try to get a better line into turn 8 as we go for the dive, and we hit into his side pod, make contact with his back wheel and nearly spin into the wall there. That could have been catastrophic and race over if we'd have hit the wall there. Could have easily taken our left front tyre off, but we got the position now. Bottas is ahead, we've got Sainz and Alexander Albon directly behind us. They're both going to be looking to make a move here as we let one of them down the inside, and it's going to be Carlos Sainz as we leave him enough room to make the move. We go to the outside and get the move done, and we stay in P6 for the time being now as we go slow into turn 13, and Carlos Sainz is eager to get through as we're just trying to roll the car through this S section, try not to leave him any gap here as we go through each corner slowly and slowly, just trying to ease the car through and try not to concede the position to Sainz as Bottas is coming to the pits now as we go through, and we go deep into turn 22, into turn 23, and Carlos Sainz has got the move done as Alexander Albon has followed him through there. And now we're down into another place, into P7 now. As we're lining up the overtake here on lap 21 on Alexander Albon into turn 6. It can't be done, so we brake early and try lining up a move into turn 8, just like we did on Valtteri Bottas, and we actually make it work. We bang it into their tyre, we make the move work though, and we're up another place into P6 now. But the thing is, with being in P6, is that Alexander Albon has now got DRS onto us, and he can make a move here into turn 11. And you've got Ricciardo has come through on the outside, and we brake late and thankfully don't make any damage into the back of Ricciardo, and Ricciardo's got through. Alexander Albon has lost out, and Ricciardo's got through. We stay in P7 now. Here on lap 22 now, we've got Norris behind us, Ricciardo shall I say, up ahead, and we're just going to have to hold on here as Norris is having a look down the inside of turn 10. We're going to try late braking and go to the inside of Norris, go into his slipstream, try late braking down the inside. He locks up and we actually make contact, and we lose our front wing a bit there. We've broken our front wing, which is going to make us very slow through this S section now. As we come through at the end of lap 22 into lap 23 with our damaged front wing, of course, and Norris is going to be all over us here, sniffing our gearbox. He goes to the outside of turn 1, which is going to just allow us to squeeze him out there into turn 2, and we've got the move done, and we're going to stay in front of Norris only for a few more corners now. Well, looking likely, as we're very slow through each corner due to the front wing being damaged. And we've got Lando Norris, who's going to try making a move here into turn 5 and 6. As we goes down the inside, we go to the outside. We brake just that little bit later than him, and which we keep the move and we keep the position, because we turn into the inside. We had the outside, which turns into the inside, and now Norris is going to be all over us with DRS, of course. We've only got a small bit of ERS to use. Not a lot to go with. We take it off and try to sail the car round the outside, and Norris is, there's two cars actually gaining. Albon's gaining right behind us. We've got Norris who goes down the inside. We can't make the switch back, and that's going to be another position we're going to have to concede now to Norris. As we come through here on lap 24, we've got Bottas on a fresh pair of soft tyres, and he's going to be easily going to overtake us here. He's going to have a look for turn 6 here as we go down the straight. He's having a look down the inside. He don't get the move done. We brake late and we cut the cord out, and it's a very slow exit off turn 6 into 7 into 8 on this left-hander, and we've still got the damage, remember, as we go down on this very long straight here with Bottas pressuring us into making a mistake here into turn 10. We go tight to the corner, and hopefully we can keep in front here. If we go to the inside, allow him to the outside, and he turns in a little bit, and we've broken more of our front wing as shrapnel goes everywhere, and we're going to have to change our strategy now, as we're going to have Alexander Albon right on our tail now. We're going to have to box. As you can see, there's a change of strategy there. We're going to yell to the chief engineer, box, 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 as we actually make contact with Alexander Albon, and Alexander Albon does get through down into turn 21 here as we go through round near the pit wall, as we're going to have to come into the pit lane to change our front wing. And Alexander Albon, with the contact from us, must have got front wing damage as we tried going through the corner, as he tried overtaking us, of course. And Alexander Albon is actually coming into the pits as well with only 4 laps left in this Grand Prix. Can we overtake Alexander Albon here in the pit window, in the pit lane? He's into the pits. He's changed his front wing as well, as he is behind us as car after car passes us by. As we're changing the front wing now, it's a 3-second. Can we get the pits done? And it's a 6.6 second pit stop, and we're actually jumped Alexander Albon in the pits. Our pit crew executed order pit stop 60 or 6.6. And now we're up ahead of Albon, and we've got Russell behind, or in front of us, Latifi behind Albon, as he's jumped Latifi as well. And we've got Aiken in front of Russell. Our teammate is in P13 now, doing greatly in the Payne Racing car. as we come through now at the end of lap 26 here. And we've got to settle behind George Russell now as we're trying to overtake him. Just 2 laps left in this Grand Prix as we go to the outside, and we've given the room down the inside. He tries squeezing us out. Thankfully we've got the car in front of him as we go into turn 2. And now we've got to settle behind Jack Aiken, our teammate. We don't want to cause damage to him. We don't want to hit him at all. So we've got to just try cleanly pass him through as we go to DRS into lap 27, round into turn 6. And Jack Aiken's very slow here. He's very slow through each turn, and he's holding us up massively. And we need to pass him as quickly as possible, to be honest. And we're here on the last straight, like the main back straight here. And Jack Aiken's just held us up through those corners. As we've got Albon and Russell behind us. We're going to try the move on the outside, try braking late and try rolling the car around. He's left us the gap here, and we're going to make the move, and he's blocked us off here, and we've made contact, and we've got even worse damage than we did before we pitted. But as we've only got 1 lap left in this Grand Prix, we're going to try staying out. We dive down the inside of turn 13 to stay in front of the S section here, as we can control the pace through these corners as we go slowly and slowly, just try directing the car through the corner. But the only problem is, as we go through the last couple of quarters of this lap, Alexander Albon tries going down the outside of us into turn 21 there, as we just block him off. And the problem with going down this last lap here, we've got to do a whole lap with damage to our front wing, which means we're going to be slow through each corner. We're not going to have the aerodynamics through each corner to slow us down. So we've got to try slowing down everyone else and just blocking everyone off. Legally, of course, not switching back, as Albon has a little look, doesn't get the work moot done. As we go through onto this back straight, Albon will have DRS, of course, as we try slowing the car down as much as possible. And he's going to dive down the inside, and he's got the move done. And now he's up another place as we're down into P14. Lewis Hamilton has won this Grand Prix as we dive down the inside, and we made contact, and we've actually spun Alexander Albon, and there's contact with him as Russell sneaks on through. And we're going to have Jack Aiken side by side with us down this main straight. We need to make the move work down into turn 11 if we want any chance of finishing above all three of these drivers. We go to make it look like we're going to make it 3 wide here as Alexander Albon cuts us off. We brake late and we dive down the inside as the gap opens up. Now we're slowed everyone down. We make contact with George Russell here on this final lap. What controversy in this final lap as we make contact into turn 11. We get in front into turn 13, and that is how we're going to have to hold on now through these last couple of quarters and just dictate the pace here and slow down everyone else as we go through the final quarters on the last lap of the Grand Prix. Obviously Hamilton's won the Grand Prix, we're in P13 for the time being, and we're slow through these quarters as both cars of Albon and Russell both trying to make an overtake as we come through on the checkered flag, lap 28 in P13. And we've finally done it. We finally got through, and what a race and what a final lap.
Plenty of action here in Hanoi, a memorable race and an impressive victory. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
And I actually lost a lot of my voice there on that last lap, having to shout with the commentary through those last couple of quarters. But we're up into P13. We do gain a total of 2 places in the race as we done the late dive on Albon and Russell in the last couple of quarters. And as you can see, Grosjean getting driver of the day, going from P19 to P9 in the race, as Jack Aitken only gets P16 in the end. Good result for him in the end though, as we see the drivers' standings here. We're dropped down from P9 to P11 now in the World Drivers' Championship. Jack Aitken still in P20 of course, as he's got no points gained, and we drop down to P11 unfortunately, as we look through to the Constructors' Championship, and there's no change there. Thankfully we're still in P6 as Haas have moved up to P8, and Mercedes have gone into the Drivers' Championship lead in the Constructors. As that's where we're going to wrap up this video. If you have liked it, please like it. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. I've been Nick Payne at FeelThePaynePW. Goodbye.